Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is 11 o'clock. We fell back an hour. It's 11. Welcome all, welcome everyone. Welcome those of you who are watching us on media, and welcome all of those beautiful, wonderful people in front of me. Welcome to the love and light that is Unity of Lawrence. As you know, in Unity, we begin everything with prayer. Let's take a centering breath and open to the divine in all of us and listen to this prayer. On this day, we dedicate our hearts to peace on earth. We appreciate everyone's spiritual journey and the abundant blessings bestowed upon us. In unity with all who seek to express freedom, joy, and transformation, we welcome our divine inheritance as creators. In harmony with this truth, we live to the best of our ability with a peaceful mind, a peaceful heart, and a peaceful spirit. And so it is. Amen. As you know, our chaplains are trained to hold sacred space and pray with you one-on-one. If there's anything in your heart to be held in prayer, we invite you to see a chaplain after today's service at the front of the sanctuary. Our chaplains today are Betty and Gail. Our chaplains will also pray for you during the week. Just fill out a prayer request slip and place it in the wooden box outside the office. Chaplains can also visit in times of need. Just let the office know. All prayers are confidential. Now, please stand as you're able and let's join Kelley in singing, I Start My Day with Love.
I'd start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love. Oh, I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, I start my day with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. And joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy and feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy and feel that sweet release. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace.
Thank you, Kelley. Thank you, everyone. And now it's time for our unity intentions. Please affirm with me unity's founding principle. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And now our Unity of Lawrence vision statement. Together, united in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And finally, our Unity of Lawrence mission statement. Together, we are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. Thank you. Yeah, we almost want applause, don't we? Okay, now for the good stuff. That's all good stuff, but this is really good stuff. Kelley Hunt is a singer, songwriter, recording artist, speaker, and workshop facilitator based in Lawrence, Kansas. She is currently at work on her 8th album and an additional album featuring songs she's written and performed for New Thought churches throughout the United States, both expected to be released in 2024. Welcome, 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 Kelley.
All I have and all I feel is all because of you. And all I reap is all I sow. And you know love is our living proof. Thank you for life. I thank you for everything. And I stand here in grace and gratitude. And I thank you. And you know that seasons come and seasons go, no matter what we choose. 1,000 names and 1,000 roads, they all lead to one simple truth. And I thank you. I thank thank you. I thank you. I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so thankful you are here. Another day, another way to say thank you. I love you. Thank you. I want to say thank you. Thank you for life. Oh, I thank you for everything, everything. And I stand here. I stand in grace and gratitude. I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you. Oh, my heart is glad this morning. Thank you. Everything. Oh, happy day. I'm home today. I was in South Dakota yesterday. And it was beautiful. And there, I was telling somebody this morning, you know, there are good people everywhere, everywhere across our entire world. Good people everywhere. I want to tell you a story this morning. While all her classmates were eagerly making plans with family and friends for their trips back home for the holidays, Jackie Turner, who's a junior at William Jessup University near Sacramento, was worried that she would be the only student left on campus for Christmas. This time of year is hard, she said. Everyone is talking about their cousins, their families, all the things that make up Christmas, but she says she doesn't have any of that, and she never did. She told CBS News that her childhood was abusive, and she never shared any of the experiences she heard her classmates talk about. So, instead of feeling sorry for herself, this straight-A student posted an ad on Craigslist, and here's what it said. I'm offering $8 an hour to rent parents for the holidays. Maybe for like just a couple of hours, she said. Just be like the light of their life for that moment. Can you imagine that? She got dozens of responses to her ad, about half from parents who wanted to help for free, of course, and about half from other young people who felt the same way that she did. So she decided to hold a meetup Christmas potluck dinner. She said, people are hurting and broken, and we need each other. We need to be loving people, and I think that's what tonight's about. She not only found a mentor for herself that holiday season, but she matched the needy with the needed. She continues to host yearly meetups with a potluck Christmas dinner because no one should ever feel alone on Christmas or on any of the holidays or any time. So today I'm talking to you about grace and gratitude. We're starting this holiday season, and how might we approach the family gatherings, if we're lucky enough to have them, gift giving, food preparation, and more, with just a little bit more ease and a little less stress. I remember last Christmas, all the people in my family were excited to go to my parents' house. That's kind of our tradition. We go there Christmas Eve, and we wake up Christmas morning, and we have a Christmas breakfast, we open presents, and we all knew somewhere in our hearts that this would probably be the last Christmas my dad was with us in the body. And there was a tension that I couldn't identify when I was getting ready to go. I had bought presents, and I was making food. Two of my dad's favorite things were deviled eggs and pecan pie. And so every year, and homemade bread. So every year for years, I'm making deviled eggs, pecan pies, making bread. And my dad and I had this little kind of, what we thought was this little secret thing that we did. I always made extra deviled eggs. And I knew that we didn't have a meal till a little bit later in the evening, giving everybody a chance to get there. And I knew he was hungry. And he tended to skip meals. I don't know why he did that. So by the time we got there, he was like, "Hi, do you have those deviled eggs with you?" And I had a special little plate that I put him on, and I had enough for him to snarf as many as he wanted, and I put the rest in the fridge with a little Post-it note that said, "Dad's eggs." Of course, there were lots for everybody, you know. But that year, I was in a funk, and I was making those eggs, and I just went, ah. I was cranky, and I was snapping at my husband, which is not my MO. And he finally came up, and he said, "Okay, so what's really going on?" I said, "I don't have enough eggs." And so being the practical guy that he was, he goes, "Okay, I'll go to the store. How many do you need? Do you have enough relish, mayo, mustard, what do you need?" I had 3 dozen eggs. And he goes, "Not about the eggs, is it?" And I went, "No." And I realized at that point I was self-imposing some stress on myself, and I didn't need to do it. I was sad. I was anxious. It was anything but at the eggs. So my expectation was these eggs have to be perfect because it's probably going to be the last time Dad has them. Well, it wasn't the last time, but I felt like it might have been. So expectations can just pull us back into a funk, and we don't realize what's going on at the time. I know that's been the case for me. I had enough eggs already. Sometimes we assume we know what the other person wants or needs, and many times that's just not the case. Has that ever happened to you? You say, "Well, I'm doing this because so-and-so really wants it to be this way every time," and pretty soon if you just talk to them and say, "Do you need it to be this way?" They'll go, "No, I never really did, but," and you're like, "What?" Self-imposed expectations. COVID taught me something very important. That first year of holidays, we've got a big, sizable family. We always get together on holidays. And we couldn't do it. And what I learned that year was how important that was to me. And I also learned it can be okay not to do what we've always done as a family at the holidays, and it'll be okay. And in a weird way, I don't know if this happened for you during that time, but in an odd way, it was kind of a relief. You know, we found different ways to connect with each other. You know, we mailed things instead of brought them in person. We Zoomed those of us that could do that, or did phone calls. My niece Tess set up an iPad on her account for my parents so that we could FaceTime them, which they had never done. I was so proud of my mom for navigating that. She'd FaceTime call me any old time. She did it one time when I was here doing a talk. I was like, "Oh, it's my mom." You know? And part of me wanted to go, "Hey, look where we are." You know, I didn't do that. I called her back. But there were still ways to connect, and our expectations shifted to something with a little more ease. I know there was fear involved during that time. I know there was isolation involved, but we found a way, because you know what? People matter more than things. Sometimes serving others helps lift us out of that feeling of not enough, or too much, or I miss my people, or I can't be with them, or what's this holiday about anyway, no matter what the holiday is or isn't. If we serve others, now we can do that by volunteering for a community meal. There are great opportunities in Lawrence, Kansas to do that. And I would venture to guess, no matter where you are in the world, there are great opportunities to do that. There is a doctor I want to tell you about, and this guy is really fun and amazing. His name is Dr. Tony Atkins. He works at the Children's Hospital in Orange County. He works with his very young cancer and neurosurgery ICU and ER patients. He works with the kids, you guys. And here's what he does. And you can find him online, Dr. Tony Atkins. Here's how he serves others. In addition to, being a doctor and helping these children through a really, really trying and sometimes deadly time. When and if they are capable in their own way, dance is what he does. He finds out what that child's favorite kind of music is. And even if they're just lying in bed and all they can move are their hands, he puts it on and he goes, dance party, here we go, come on. And he'll put a chair right up next to him, and whatever they can move, that's what he moves. That's what he does. And he's enlisted the nurses, physician's assistants, the surgeons, to put together flash dances for the kids. So you'll see on there, here comes a little patient with her walker and hooked up to stuff, and she comes out, she hears her music, and they're very careful with these children. They don't do anything to physically compromise them, and they don't do things that aren't safe for them to do. And here she comes out of her room with her walker, and there's the surgeon, and he's dancing, and there's the nurse, and there's her favorite person in the whole world, Dr. Tony. And he holds her little hand, and they do the walker dance, and they have a great time. And that's how he serves his patients' hearts and their souls. So at Christmas, you better believe. And Hanukkah, you better believe. And Kwanzaa, you better believe. There are all kinds of holidays that they celebrate the heck out of there. Dr. Tony's going to come dancing down the hall to their room, and they can hear him coming. There's even a video with him holding a little bitty baby. Can you imagine this poor child going through neurosurgery? But the baby's going to be all right. Baby's going to be okay. And the parents are there, and he picks that child up gently, and he's dancing to the parents, and they put on the music. And pretty soon the parents are up dancing, and pretty soon everybody is not focusing on the fact that this child has been through hell. They're focusing on the fact this child's going to be well. And at some point when this child can walk, this child's going to dance with Dr. Tony. Now, how about that for serving somebody? I love that so much. Think about ways that you can do that for others. We all don't want to jump up and dance, but we can do all kinds of fun things for people, and we can also do them in secret. And at the holidays, when somebody's brokenhearted, that may be when we need them most. There was a couple that lived down the street from my parents when my parents were younger. My mom was probably in her 60s or 70s. And they were the elderly couple on the block. Now, the block my parents live on is 3 blocks long. It goes from 12th to 15th. There's no cut through. So it's a big block. But everybody knows everybody else. And they've noticed that this elderly couple across the street and down a few houses, they hadn't seen him for a while. They were getting a little concerned about him, and they went. So my mom, who is absolutely an extrovert and would burst into song and dance at any time, she decided to get some of the neighbors together. She goes, that's it, we're going, Carolyn, that's it. We're going to go down to their house, and we're going to stand on their porch, And we're not even going to knock on the door, because if they aren't able to come to the door, we're just going to sing to them. Here's the songs we're going to sing. Let's go. And they did. Marched up on the porch, sang Christmas songs, sang, and the couple slowly came to the door and opened the door, and they just went, and they began to smile, and they began to sing with them. And nobody asked what was going on. They just sang to Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. They gave them some cookies or something that Mom had made. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And then they left. Mom got a call the next day that said, you know what? That was the only Christmas we had. Our son died last week. And we decided we weren't going to celebrate. We weren't going to put up a tree. We weren't going to do anything. And then we heard this music on our front porch and said, who are these crazy people? And we looked out and they saw their neighbors singing jingle bells, who didn't know of the loss, but who didn't want to address loss. They wanted to address support and love in the way that they could. They served somebody. And that relieved, just for a moment, a little bit of stress for that couple. And it relieved stress for the neighbors too, because now they knew what was going on, and they started a meal train, and they took care of those folks. So humor and dance, when one of Dr. Tony's patients' mom thanked him for taking such good care of her child, he broke out in a dance and sang, "It's the God in me. It's the God in me." And they went, okay, cool. Well, all right then, I guess that's what it is. So, I appreciate people who put themselves out there in a way. They don't worry about how they look. They don't worry about if somebody's going to judge them. They just do it. They just do it. Unity principle number 3 is thoughts create experiences. Here's a beautiful quote from Andrew Bernstein, who's an American philosopher. And he says, remember that stress doesn't come from what's going on in your life. It comes from your thoughts about what's going on in your life. None of us is going to walk through here scot-free. Not one of us in this room or watching online or out in our world has a stress-free life all the time. But it's how we think about it. Principle number 4, prayer is connection. Dr. Daisy Sutherland, who is an author and a doctor of chiropractic, says, it's important to remember that although the hustle and bustle of the holidays are upon you, your daily routine should not end. Your everyday practices help to calm and center you, and you will still need them to get through this busy season. And here's a secret that I learned that's not so much a secret. It's okay to say no. It's all right to ask for help. It's okay to say, I'm tired. I've hit my wall. I can't do another thing today. And allow somebody else to step up and help. It's okay to redo what you've always done in a way that serves you and others in a better way. Unity principle number 5 is action is needed. That's one of my favorite principles. And Dr. Sutherland says, one of the most important ways to reduce stress is to ask for help. Help! I don't have enough eggs. This works not only during the holidays, but year-round. Ask for some help. This last week on Thursday, my mom turned 94, and it was her first birthday without my dad. And I was on the road, and I couldn't be with her. I'm with her almost every week, and I couldn't be there. And I was feeling mighty bad about it. I was putting stress and pressure on myself. And my husband and I went down there on Halloween and gave her birthday present and a card and loved her up and had a good evening. And then we went home and we hit the road. And so when I woke up on Thursday in Lincoln, Nebraska, I was feeling that pang and that kind of stress Because my mom's birthday in my world is a big holiday. It's something that we always celebrate. And I got this message on my phone from a high school friend that I hadn't seen in person for years, but I'd actually known her since junior high, really great gal. And she messaged me, hey, she knew my mom's favorite pie was coconut cream pie. And I thought she was kidding. She goes, well, I bet your mom's going to have a coconut cream today. And I thought, oh. I texted her back and I said, yeah, I'm not there this week. She said, no, she's going to have a coconut cream pie today. I am making her one. I went, what? And she said, can she eat that? And I said, yeah, she can eat that. And she said, well, what time do you want me to deliver it? And I said, I'm not there. But my sister, who is an executive director at the Emporia Granada Theater, will be checking on her at noon. We'll be having dinner with her, and we'll be spending the night with her. We'll be there with her. So coordinate that with her. And I got hold of my sister, and I said, guess what? Mom's getting a homemade coconut cream pie. She was excited. So I hooked the two of them together. They'd never met. They didn't know each other, but it didn't matter. Mom was the connector there. So throughout the day, we were setting up and doing sound check. I got a photo from her, goes, want to lick the bowl? She showed me the filling. And then she goes, hey, how should I make the meringue? I went, oh my God. Now it's like 15 minutes before I'm getting ready to start. And she said, here it is. And I got to see it, and I knew that Mom was going to be surprised. My sister picked it up and delivered it. Of course, I couldn't talk to my mom till later. I called her upstairs in the dressing room in between sets. And I go, happy birthday to you. Hey, did you get a surprise today? And she goes, oh my God. I got a coconut cream pie from Nancy. And I said, happy birthday. I said, Mom, I was feeling mighty bad. I couldn't be there with you. She goes, oh, don't worry about it. I've eaten about a third of the pie already. So what I thought was a gloomy day was fine for Mom. She was great. She got a lot of phone calls. She got a pie. She's like, don't worry about it. It was almost as if it was like, hey, stay where you're at. I'm eating this pie myself. Of course, she didn't say that at all. There's something kind of supercharged in some families about the holidays. And not always, but sometimes there is. Used to be when I'd go to my folks' house, and all my siblings are there. I have 2 older siblings, 1 younger, and now the family has expanded. I started to kind of revert to the third child mode. And I didn't even realize it till my husband said, hey, just because your brother's older doesn't mean you need to acquiesce to that guy. I said, you know what, you're right. What am I thinking? What? I'm not in 7th grade and he's in 9th anymore. What the heck is that? So the way I thought about it, of course, he wasn't thinking that. My brother wasn't thinking that, but I don't know, I went back to 7th grade for a sec. Stop that. That's all done. There are a lot of blessings involved with how we look at things. And if we give other people a break, not everybody gets along. And that's just the truth of it. But sometimes, if we can take a look at it as if we are looking through the Christ consciousness eyes, God's eyes, the Creator's eyes, they may notice that this sibling is actually very, very tired. Not that they've snapped at you and you're like, I'm not taking that from you, They may notice that Dad's hungry, but he ain't going to ask you for all those eggs that you made until you offer them. They may notice, and the whole point is it focuses elsewhere. We can acknowledge our pain. We can acknowledge our grief. But if we step away from that for just a minute and say, these are my expectations. Well, I might even say, and I did, hey, Mom, I'm feeling mighty bad about not being there. My thoughts were clouding how my day was going. But if I hadn't said anything to her, I wouldn't have known how she felt. She said, I'm eating a pie. I don't know about you, but I'm fine. So that gave me just a modicum of relief. There's a lot of things we can do to lift each other up. Music, singing together, humor, knowing you're not alone, and if you feel alone, reach out. Go ahead and reach out. Tell somebody, I am feeling so alone. I need somebody here. Just say it. 9 times out of 10, you're going to find somebody who says, I'm there. You know that pets regulate our nervous system? If you got your dog or your cat or your bird or your lizard or whatever you have, sometimes those can help us calm the heck down and say, oh, well, I can't possibly get up because my cat's on my lap now, so I'm sorry, I can't help you with this. They regulate our physical nervous system. That is a scientifically proven fact. Rest. Sometimes we get so amped up and excited, and that can be a positive stress, like, oh man, when I was a kid, it was like, Christmas Eve, I'm on fire. I don't want to go to sleep. It's Thanksgiving, turkey is my jam. And I would just be, my little nervous system couldn't take it. And that adrenaline that goes through our bodies, especially over the holidays, can wear us out. Rest. If you look at yourself and treat yourself as you would a beloved, you might say, child, you're tired. You need to sit down. Go read a book. Go close your eyes. Do what you need to do. I think there is a beautiful way that humor, when it's used in a loving way, can lift us up and out of the funk. During my dad's memorial service, it was pretty upbeat. My mom was the first one to talk and welcome people in, and there was some grief there, there was some happiness there, and our granddaughter came, and she wanted to sit on my lap, so she sat on my lap, and then she wanted Grandpa Al, who she goes, Grandpa Owl, and she wanted to run up and down the hallway, so he just took her out into the hallway, closed the door, and in a moment of a bit of a heavy moment during the service that was, challenging for the family and challenging for my mom, we heard from the hallway, happy birthday to you, happy birthday. That's the one song this girl loved to belt out at the top of her lungs. She's 2, and she'll tell you, I am 2, happy birthday to you. And when she said that, my mom perked up and she told the whole congregation of people, well, that's my great-granddaughter. And it gave us a little bit of a lift. There was humor involved. There was a reminder, we're not alone. It's okay to be silly. It's okay to be fun. It's okay. And I think sometimes children, they get left out of that equation. Sometimes we want to hush them up, or we say, oh yeah, be quiet, we've got to be. When it's just the thing we need. I want to read something to you. And I know this part is centered on Christmas. I know we don't all celebrate that. But I love the spirit of this that involves a child. So there was a mother who tells the story, this is a true story, of her 7-year-old son who was starting to kind of get an inkling that maybe this Santa Claus thing was suspect. But he was kind of afraid to say it, and he didn't want to ask. And so she took him out for coffee and reminded him of ways that year that he'd been empathetic or considerate of others' feelings. And she told him this is the quote, your heart has grown so much that I think you're ready to become a Santa Claus. That Christmas, it was his job to identify something a person not in their immediate family might need, and then secretly leave it for them. That was his job. He was becoming part of the Santa team. And so instead of being grief-stricken and upset that my parents have lied to me all these years, he went, I am? Oh yeah, you've proven that. You're old enough now to know. You're part of the Santa team. So her son picked what he called the witch lady down the street. Who yelled at the neighborhood kids when they were playing too loudly near her house. He noticed she always got her morning newspaper in her bare feet. So he told his mom he wanted to buy her slippers. They purchased a warm pair. They wrapped them with a note that said, Merry Christmas from Santa. And her son left them on her driveway. And as the story goes, the next morning he watched as the elderly woman came out to get her paper in her new slippers. She looked around. She didn't see anybody, and he's watching from the window. And he told his mom, "It's so great to be a Santa." The woman that shared the story is Leslie Rush, who's 57. She's a high school history teacher in El Paso, Texas. She wrote it 10 years ago in response to an online forum query about how to handle when kids begin to ask whether Santa is real. The little boy in her story is son Adam, who, get this, he's now 32 years old. And this year, he passed along the gift of becoming part of the Santa team to his own son, Tristan. I can't tell you how much I love that. I love it a lot. So I look at that as a reminder. We all can be part of the team. All of us, when we feel we're isolated, alone, we're stressed with holidays, family, whatever it may be. Join the team. Ask for team members. Get yourself a potluck going on. Be a secret Santa. What was it on the show Friends? The Friends for Hanukkah. Was it the aardvark? The armadillo. The Hanukkah armadillo. Where he comes out, David Schwimmer comes out in an armadillo suit. It's the Hanukkah armadillo. He was trying to teach his son about, the 8 days. And get you an armadillo suit. Cheer somebody up. So I want to end with this. Remember, no matter what you're dealing with, whether it's during the holidays or not, let somebody in. Let somebody know how you're feeling. Serve somebody else. Be sad when you need to be sad, but don't live there and jump up and get on your armadillo suit. Go sing to somebody. Do what you can to remember all is and will be, even if it doesn't feel like it, eventually well. All will be well. So as we get ready for our meditation, as I always do, I would like us to take a deep breath. I would like us to take another deep breath and get relaxed and settled in your seat or wherever you are online and listen to this music and this meditation together. In the presence of the one, in the presence of the truth, all is healed, all is whole, and all is well. In the presence of the one, in the presence of the truth, all is healed, all is whole, and all is well. So we take another deep breath and settle into our seats. And we think of our beloveds. And we know all is well. All is healed. All is whole. And in our mind's eye, we go to that place that safety, where our souls and our bodies and our minds may rest. And we breathe. No matter what is going on in our life, no matter what is going on in our world, we send that healing energy to ourselves and to others, and we breathe. In the knowing that we are one with our Creator. We are not alone. And that consciousness is within us at all times. All is healed, all is whole, all is well. We breathe. And eventually we slowly bring ourselves back to the room. Wherever we are, slowly and gently. When we're ready, we open our eyes, but not until we're ready. In the presence of the truth, all is healed, all is whole, and all is well. And all is well. So it is. When we come back to this room, when we're ready. If you're ready, if you are ready now, oh, if you're ready, come on and go with me. No hatred, come go with me. Will ever be tolerated. Come go with me. Peace and love, yeah, come go with me. Flow between the races, come go with me. You know that love is the only transportation to where there's total communication. If you're ready, come go with me. Oh, just get ready now. Come go with me. If you are able, come go with me. Take me by the hand now. Come go with me. Oh, no disaster the only transportation to where there's total communication. If you're ready now, come go with me. Take me by the hand now. Come go with me if you are able. Woo, come go with me. Better get ready now. Come go with me, everybody. Yeah, come go with me all around the world now. Come go with me, every man and woman. Come go with me, every boy and girl, child now. Come go with me, love is the only. Come go with me, the only transportation. Come go with me to where there is total. Come go with me, total communication. All right, come go with me. All right. Woo. Thank you. Thanks so much.
That did feel good. Thank you. As our ushers come forward for our time of thanks, I invite you to join me as we hold our gifts to this community in our hands and love in our hearts. Let's affirm together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. As the love offering is collected, let's join Kelley in singing, We Let It Be.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Oh yes, we do. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace this morning. Oh, we let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the love, we let the love, we let the love wash over us. We let it be. One more time this morning. We let the love wash over us. We let it be.
Here is our prayer of thanks. Please listen. We are grateful and we bless the flow of good that supports our unity community. We bless the givers who give their time, talent, and treasure. We stand in the knowing that the flow of good goes forth only to return again and again, and so it is. Amen. A special welcome to our guests today. Thank you for joining us. If you would like more information, please pick up a welcome packet from the foyer. Sunday Lunch Bunch is meeting at Perkins, 1711 West 23rd Street. Everyone is welcome. Francisca Vance is continuing her Italian language classes on the first and third Sundays. They meet next this afternoon at 2 p.m. See Francesca with any questions. Remember, Open Meditation with Phil Roger meets on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Join featured poets Annette Billings, Lana Marie Haas, Diane Silver, and Phil Roger for Unity's first poetry extravaganza on Friday, November 10th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. That is this Friday, yes. On Friday, November 10th, this Friday, November 10th, 7 to 8:30 p.m. here at the sanctuary. An open mic will follow the featured readings. The sign-up sheet for open mic will be available at 6:30 p.m. November 10th, this Friday. This is the first of what we hope will be many poetry events. Diane and Phil want to help Lawrence's poetry community grow. Any level of experience is welcome. Our next Unity Talk is Friday, November 17th at 6:30 p.m. with John Musgrave, and then a workshop on Saturday afternoon, November 18th with Shannon Musgrave. More information is coming soon. Another option for Thanksgiving Day, come and join us 2 p.m. for our annual Friendsgiving meal. We are providing the turkey, potatoes, and gravy. All you need to bring is a side dish or dessert to share. It will be a great time to share great food with great friends. Everyone is invited. Join us next Sunday when Reverend Jen Hutchins brings us the message, Power Source. Special music with Tim Barons. Special music with Tim Barons. Awesome. It's now time to rise as you're able and sing the peace song.